Hello friends, it's Simone. I'm here to talk about fountain pens because that's what I love doing because I'm your favorite neighborhood nerd. I thought last night, before I went to bed, I had the itch to ink some pens. And so I went through and looked at pens that I could unink possibly. I've had quite a few pens inked, as you can see. I'm going to show you this pen case. This is a Kako pen case from Amazon, which I actually prefer over this is a 20 pen case, which I actually prefer over my 20 pen case from Galen Leather. I'd never thought I would say that, but I think the elastics aren't as stiff. They're still stiff on some pens, especially thicker pens, but I really like it better than the Galen Leather one, because also the teeth of the zipper aren't as hard and it feels more pliable here, so I can easily take out my pens without necessarily scratching against the Galen Leather case. But that's just an aside. So I have currently inked 17 pens, which is quite a lot from what I've usually had inked. And then to think that on top of that, I'm thinking of inking up 5 more pens. I have a list. I actually wrote down a list last night. Is not normal, not usual for me. What I had been doing for the last maybe 3 weeks or so is put some of my favorites. Oh, look at this. There is some ink. Okay. I'll talk about this. Put about 6 or so fountain pens that I want to use right now in here, so I can take them with me. Sometimes I'm sitting on the couch or at the dining room table, babysitting the puppy. And so I don't want to take all of this over there because I'm afraid that it might get eaten. This is easier to, rescue. So I've been putting in here some of the pens, and then just if I didn't feel that pen anymore, I put it back here and put another one in. This way I have written dry one. I decided to unink another one. I think I had 20 inked. So, oh yes, and then the fall leaves pen I finally cleaned so that I could send it out to the winner of the giveaway. And so last night I thought I'm really itching to, first of all, I thought there are some pens that I'm not sure that I might want to sell. So I was wondering, maybe I should ink them again one last time to make sure that letting go of them is not just a brain fart, but actually a real thing that I can let go of that pen. Because I remembered last time I had those feelings about letting go of a pen. I want to show this to you. I don't think I ever showed it. Now let me see if I can find it as quickly as I had hoped. There should be a list of stuff of Karina's pen acquisition questions. Karina's questions when considering selling a pen. So she shared those on my Discord, and I wrote them down because I thought they were really good. I added my own additions to this because I love using somebody else's ideas as a base for developing my own stuff. Yeah, I'm not a good idea generator, but when something is there, I can perfect it for myself, maybe even develop it further. Another brain fart tangent. But I thought about selling these pens, and what I did was I wrote down what my thoughts were, why I thought I wanted to sell those pens. And I I actually am taking this a step further now. I want to ink them up and write those thoughts about why I want to, or maybe why I'm hesitant of selling those pens in my journal with the pen that I inked, so that I can, while I'm writing, have the writing experience with this pen. Maybe that doesn't make sense. I think it makes sense. And I love overthinking. I just got this cup. It's a 20-ounce Yeti cup for my tea. And it fits in the cup holder, which was a problem with most of the things. And this is magnetic. So you can actually clean this super easily. And I love it. Closes, perfect. I think especially for sticky stuff like coffee lattes and stuff, this would be perfect. And 20 ounce is a venti cup of coffee from Starbucks. So that's why I'm nibbling on this. No, not nibbling is not the right. Sipping on this. So my thought is I'm going through those. I went through them yesterday. They all still write. This one was inked on October 1st, for instance. Sorry for shaking the camera. And I might not be uninking them because I already uninked those that I was ready to let go. But I want to put those that I'm a little bit hesitant about using, I haven't used in a while, into my 6 pen case so I can write letters with them. Yeah, I'm writing letters again. So this is the Sailor Progress Slim, Line Friends, Sally. And this is just one of the most beautiful pens, in my opinion. I had inked this with Pilot Iroshizuku Momiji. And even though I really, really love this combination, I am just not gravitating towards it. It might be the red. I haven't purchased Momiji yet. I'm trying to with my Amazon affiliate payout, which I get about a quarter and usually about $15, which purchases a Pilot Iroshizuku ink bottle when it's on sale there. So I've been slowly accumulating more and more Pilot Iroshizuku inks. And I've been thinking about Momiji, but I think I'm gonna not add that, because I think the reason why I'm not gravitating towards this pen, which writes absolutely nicely, is because of the ink color. But I want to try this out at least one more time before I unink it. So, and it's still going strong, which surprises me. And the ink color is still, when I start writing with it, it's basically this color. So it doesn't darken out. I have heard several people say that their Sailor Pro Gears or Pro Gear Slims have ink evaporating and darkening in them. I have not made this experience. The other pen that I was going to add to my pen case was the Pilot Custom 823 in amber. This is one of my favorite pens. It's inked with Diamond Cult Pens Deep Dark Orange, which is quite similar to Ancient Copper. I think it's a little bit different enough to get a bottle at some point, maybe in 2025. But yeah, I want to write with this because I just really love the size of the pen. And I love writing with it. So then we have Wearingul Kyunghui. I'm not going to put this pen. This is the Waterman Karen. I just wrote a whole video notes with this pen recently, which made me realize that I do want to keep it and that I really love this ink. But unfortunately, I can't find it to purchase anywhere. Then we have the Pilot Custom 743 in verdigris. It's inked with Diamine Safari, a really great ink as well. Because I'm putting the Custom 823 in here, I'm not putting this one in here, but this will stay inked until it's gone, I feel. I just really like using this pen. And then I pulled out the Pilot Vanishing Point with a medium 18K gold nib. It is inked with Waterman Harmonious Green. And I was surprised that it wrote right away when I tested it last night, and I haven't used it since I filmed my currently inked video for November. So that's a long time. But I want to use this and use up the ink that's, I haven't even checked how much ink is left in here. Maybe it's almost gone. Yeah, here. So I think maybe one more writing session with this pen and then it's done. And then I can unink it, which is perfectly fine for me. What else? These two are inked with the same ink. This is Vinta Lakbai, and I'm actually considering purchasing a bottle of this ink just so that I can use it in a Pilot Parallel. Thinking of keeping this inked permanently with that pen. This I eyedroppered, and it's not leaked yet, which I'm very excited about. I inked this on October 16th. I love using this. Let me grab my paper thing. Hold on just a sec. I put the writing test on the bottom of one of my papers. This is the Momiji, so it is darker. Let me go back and show you and compare. Here, yeah, it darkened. But I actually really like the darker color. So maybe it is the, yeah. You can see how much darker it is here. But I like it, and so I'm just going to use it. And this just tells me that Pilot Momiji is not an ink that I need to add to my bottled collection. I'm glad I was able to try it. No more. And then we have, I think, did I even try? Yeah, this is the Custom 823. It still writes. Then this one is, it's coming up. This one is Wearing Google Kyung Hui. This is the 1.4 millimeter stop Opus 88, which is down here. This is Harmonious Green. See, it still writes and it just flows. Waterman inks, I feel, are extremely underrated. But I was talking about the Pilot Parallel and how much I love it. Well, this is not cool. Let's put it this way. I love, look how wet it is. Look how it writes. This. And then when it dries, there is this pink shimmer on top. So I have used this in my letters quite a bit, but I'm not super impressed by the writing experience with this. And I think, you know what? I'm just going to, am I going to use it still? Maybe I should put it in here and just use it one more time, just like I've been doing. But then if I want to add all of those into this, that's going to be, you know what? Just gonna leave it here until I'm ready to use it. I was going to use the Bennu Euphoria with Anderillium Bandit King Shoemaker Butterfly Blue. That's this one. And they, wow. They write really very similar. So I've been impressed with most of the pens that I had inked, which I'm wondering if that is a sign that the pens that I'm not inking right now, maybe I need to let them go. I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking things again. This, man, I've struggled with this radius nib for quite a while. I think there is a lot of shimmer in this, so maybe it's both the shape of this nib, because every time I'm gravitating towards a Pilot Parallel nib, I'm not gravitating towards this one. I am using this one instead. So maybe it's time to clean this or put a different nib on here. What if I do that? That would be something that we can do right next. I'm actually also thinking of adding some more Pilot Parallel nibs just so that I can use them in my pens. I need to film a Pilot Parallel video, but we can do that. And then I have used this quite a bit, the Waterman Corinne with a medium nib and Birmingham Penco Cherry Blossom. This much is left. I'm just going to leave it inked and see how it performs when I'm ready to get back to it. Maybe you can see what I mean by I'm different. I don't know. I really loved Van Diemen's Mad Half Hour. Haven't used this much yet. It writes well. It's right on here, down, I think this one here. And I'm just going to leave it ink again until I'm ready to use it. This one, I loved Kobe number 57 hydrangea in this. I think I had an accident, and that's what I was going to tell you here. I think the ink, is that visible even? There is an ink splatter right here. You can't really see it, maybe. And if you look at this closely, it looks like the threads are a little, you know, purpley, have a red tint to it. Maybe I took it with me to Bishop when we went, and we had to go over mountains. So maybe the pressure made it leak. Because there was also some ink on the section. I cleaned it off, but of course I'm not getting this out right here. So, and I also feel like the cap, it doesn't look bad, but I also feel like the cap is a little bit more purple than it was. Maybe it isn't, maybe I'm just mistaken, but this was great to write with. I still want to keep it inked until the ink is gone. So I'm just gonna leave that here. Then the Sailor Pro Gear with a Scribo Grigio was also really awesome. But because I'm thinking of inking up more pens, I'm just going to leave it right here. Then I got new inks and some new pens. Oh my God, so bad. So I have this permanently housing the Monarch nib. And I inked it with Diamond Twilight, which I'm not too impressed with. So it is still quite full. And so what I think is I'm just going to leave it for now and come back to it when I'm ready. And if I'm not ready next time around, I'm swapping out these, then I'm just going to clean it. And then I inked up my Pelikan M800 in fine, the green demo with Waterman Tender Purple. And then I also, this is a pen that is on loan. This is an older Pelikan M800. You can see that it's older because it has this gold spot down here, I believe. And it's translucent. You can't really see that it is, but it is, trust me. I shone a light against it last night because I wanted to see. And it is inked with Waterman Tender Purple because the ink that I put in here, Diamond Walnut, I clean it out right away. But what I also have been thinking is maybe I'm going to clean this out and try another ink in here just to see how it performs. I really love it. I want to purchase it from my friend Wendy. And because the Waterman Tender Purple is just so lovely. I love that ink and I really love it in that Pelikan M800. And then I also inked up this new Bennu Talisman. I used it to write a letter yesterday. It's performing super nicely and very wet with this Color Verse Brain, which is a shimmer ink. Just, stunning. So these are the pens. Oh, look at this. I can just move them all over. These are the pens that are still inked and I'm really enjoying them. I'm not eager on cleaning them all out, but I'm really eager to ink up some pens. So I thought we could check out what I have inked and what I would like to put into my pens, and just do a swatching session and an inking session. This is after like I've talked for a million times. I am doing a status update every month, and I've been skyrocketing with the pens. October was 39, December 5th actually, 46. Ink bottles, I must have made a mistake somewhere along the line because I counted them all on the 5th. So I thought I had 40 and I added 2, which came to 42. However, I'm at an actual count of 57. So moving forward, I'm starting at 57, which is more than I thought I had, but that's okay. I'm not concerned about the amount of pens and inks I currently own. And I'm actually thinking of adding a couple more pens. And, but I also, maybe I shouldn't, because I have all of these, and I'm going to pull out this one, that I have not yet used yet. I received those as gifts from my friend Wendy Sue. This one is on loan. These ones are all gifts. I'm going to ink up, I'm going to put a Pilot Parallel nib in this one. But I'm so overwhelmed, and I love it. Maybe that's different. So let me pull out the pens that I want to ink. So I've been talking about this for a while. See, these teeth are metal teeth and they're sharper. Maybe I should take all of this just away here, put it somewhere else so I don't lose it. So I want to ink up this one again. I thought about inking it up with an ink that is wet and lubricated. I want to ink up the the Sailor Pro Gear King of Pens. This is one of those that I'm thinking of letting go, and this one too. So I've also been thinking of letting go the Scarlet here because I'm really drawn to to these, and I haven't inked them. And maybe the inks that I put in here weren't great because I thought these were such high performing pens. But every time I ink them, I unink them really quickly after. So I'm not sure. I also would really love to add a Leonardo Momento Zero to my pen collection, like the small one, the Stilo e Stile Kintsugi. And so I thought, do I really need all of those if I have another Yovo nib holder? But also I need to pay for the M800. So Pilot Parallel in a Wankai. Somebody said it's Wansai. If you know how to pronounce this word, I'd love to know. Then we wanted to do a nib swap. Where did I put that though? There. I'm gonna put the 1.5 millimeter Pilot Parallel on there. And then I just cleaned my Lamy 2000. I also don't know what ink I want to put in here. So this I want to swap around. I need to clean this. I thought maybe I would love to, my belly is itching. I think I want to use bottled inks. But then I pulled out Smells Like Coffee. I was looking for a shimmer ink that I could put in here, but I couldn't find one. But I found Smells Like Coffee. So I was wondering, maybe I want to put this in here. And maybe the Shujaku into the Sailor Pro Gear Yoseka Origin. it's a fine nib and I want to experience it with a lubricated ink so that I'm not like, you know, put off right away. I'm gonna put this here. And so this is one of the inks that I really enjoyed in general. I really love this one, and I thought maybe I want to ink this in here, but I need to clean this first, so this is not going to happen today. The nib goes in here. I want to show you this. I ordered 2 more of those because someone commented on my I love this as a pilot parallel housing, that it wouldn't work for them. And so I thought maybe I just order 2 more so I can see if it goes in, because it is, well, it's not really bad. It doesn't come out easily, but it does. I think I need to wear gloves to take them out. But then I don't have enough pilot parallels, so maybe I need to order more pilot parallels. What do you think? So this, I want a shimmer ink. Do I have shimmer inks even? So I pulled out, these are 2 of the shimmer inks that I have in bottled form. This is Diamond All the Best. This is from the 2022 ink vent calendar. This would work really well, but I also thought maybe I could use Yundon Yu, a Star Spattered Hill, for my shimmer ink, because this would give me the opportunity to compare it to Wearingeul Kyunghee. So maybe this is going into one of the pens that comes soon. And then I pulled out Deep Mountain. It's a new ink that I purchased from who? From Atlas Stationers. And maybe I'm gonna put this in here. Not sure. I need to check up on my puppy, so I'll be back soon. And I think I want to decorate this with some stickers here, because I don't want to stamp it. I want it to be bold. I want it to be black. New. Let's see if I have enough letters. Newly. And then an I. N. I don't have an N. Do I have a Z? Yes. Newly. Here. Trick. Ink. Inked. D. And then we'll use this pen to write. See, there's some shimmer problem. Okay, we are not using this pen. December 2024. So I'm gonna do this last because it's gonna be messy. Let me prepare all the things that I need, because I need more stuff. Gathering my supplies took much longer than I thought it would, because I then had to take care of the puppy for a while. So I pulled out, first of all, that meant that I was able to clean this pen. And the problem with these piston filling pens, as you can see here, there's still some pink coming out. Decided it's clean enough. But I'm really not torn, but I'm thinking that maybe I might just dedicate one specific ink to most of my piston filler pens, because it just makes cleaning the pen so much easier. I am very impatient and very, not upset is not the right word. I was going to say upset, but I'm easily enraged when something doesn't clean out as quickly as I am anticipating it to clean. And yeah, that happens with piston filling pens. So I might dedicate an ink to this one specifically because it's blue, of course. I think it would lend itself really well to Tsukiyo. I'm not going to ink it up with that ink right now. I want to use Raspberry Rose. But that would be something that I can keep in the back of my head. Now, I am looking for an ink that I can put into the Lamy 2000 because I pulled it out as well. Because while we were inking pens, we could just do that too. And I don't know which one I want to put in. It seems like I have too many inks. So I'm already putting this, no, not this one. Deep Mountain. Do I not have a Deep Mountain? That's this one. So this is different. Shujaku. So they are very similar. No more of those I need. I can't speak. Winter Night, I have not put into a pen. It's a new ink. That would lend itself really well to one of the Pilot Parallels. So I just ordered one more of those for so that it arrives with the one Kai minis that I have on order. And I think I am just going to ask for the full set for my birthday. So, because I really like them and I can just leave them inked. I have Tender Purple in an ink. I'm going to put, no, I'm not. What about a gray? I have Scribble Grigio in a pen right now. Yeah, maybe I don't need to ink up the Lamy 2000. Well, actually, you know what I'm going to put in it? Nevada. So there. So we can swatch those from now. Finally, I have water right here. Put the silicone grease back there. This is so... Okay. So what are we going to do? We are starting to fill up pens, and I'm just going to start with, this is a lot for just one sample, who cares? I want to swatch the ink with an eyedropper. I just recently purchased this sample that smells like coffee because I thought it would be fun to have an ink that smells like coffee because I'm really enjoying coffee. And I do have these eyedroppers. I feel like they're not as good. Let me show you these glass eyedroppers. They're not as good as the plastic eyedroppers when it comes to picking up ink. But for some reason, I have the feeling that my plastic eyedroppers aren't now I can't talk because I'm doing stuff. The plastic eyedroppers aren't cleaning out as easily as the glass eyedroppers, and so I decided to use the glass eyedroppers today. Let's ink the pen. I do have, my friend Wendy sent me these syringes, and they have a bigger diameter. I'm not sure you can see. Where is it? There. So maybe it's easier to fill the pen with that. I do have an empty cartridge in here. If I knew it was easy to clean out the pen, I would almost eyedropper it, because sometimes I'm wondering, maybe the problem that I have with this pen is because of the refilled cartridges instead of using a I do have some diamine ink cartridges. That would be a thing that I could use. I think I still have them. Maybe I gave them away. I don't know. That could also be something that I could do. Oh my gosh, this works so much better than these thinner diameters. That could be something that I can do. And just using colored ink cartridges. Let me check if I still have them. I am not sure at all. I think I took everything out of that place. I'm dipping the pen as well because I don't think that capillary action is able to pull down the ink that quickly. Let's see if I can write with it. And maybe we can close this. Well, I could. You don't have to. I am going to clean my room soon. So let's just try and see how this writes. This is KWZ, smells like coffee. And the pen is the Benu Ambrosia Brown Orchid with a medium nib. This is a steel nib, and I like it. I also like the coffee smell. We'll see how it's going to work out for me. I said that I don't like scented inks, and I'm still standing behind that. I just wanted to see if I got a really bad headache from the vanilla scent, if this would work. And I thought maybe the brown looks nice, but I'm not sure that this brown is the right brown for me. So let me just put this pen up here. Put this aside. So what else? What else? Let's do the Deep Mountain. These bottles are so tiny. Cat hair all over the place. If you didn't notice or didn't see yet, there it is. And then let's ink up this pen. What I completely messed up my whole room. There is ink splatters everywhere. Every time I look somewhere, I'm like, oh, there's an ink splatter too. Oh my gosh. It just happened. I saw one over there behind the cat tree. So the ink converter is so tight in this pen, and when it's filled, for some reason I can't remove it, and you can't really see much how much is left in the converter. And so one day I wanted to check how much ink was still left in here, and then it didn't come off, and suddenly it did, and it splattered all over my walls, obviously all over my cat tree. It splattered so many stationery paper items, and there was not much left in the pen, in the cartridge, in the converter. Wow, words. But it was enough to make a whole mess, and it's still there, the ink. So let's just see. This could be very saturated because I dipped the nib in instead of like I did here, filled the cartridge. This is Linen Toolbar Deep Mountain. I got a sample of this ink from my friend Amy, and I really liked it, and I wanted to have it. And I think just oh yes, I ordered 2 inks, Deep Mountain and the Dominant Industry ink. What is it called? Winter Night. This one, it's a shimmer ink. And then I also ordered some, what did I order? I placed an order from them for a reason, and so I added those 2 to the cart because I really like how this ink looks. It's the same ink as many of the other inks that I own. You saw that in my ink swatch book. Sailor, Pro Gear, King of Pens, black with a broad nib. And now that I'm writing with it, I'm like, why did I think I needed to sell this? Because I'm not as drawn to this as I am, for instance, to the Leonardo Momento Zero Grande. Probably because of the design, but then also this looks good. I like black pens. I'm not sure what my problem is here. I'm gonna leave those inks out, the ink bottles, because I want to swatch them in my binder swatchy binder book. What is the next ink? We could just ink up the, here is Raspberry Rose. Let's do the M800. And there is a pipette. Yeah, those glass pipettes really work much better than the plastic ones. There's probably a time and place for all of them. Where's my, not my swizzle stick, my swink. This was made by Wendy Sue of Fountain Pen News. If you don't subscribe to her YouTube channel, you totally should. She's YouTube famous. She's been on the Appleboom podcast with Doug Rathburn of Inquiring Minds, and then she's been on the Gourmet Pens and Friends podcast with Aziza from Gourmet Pens. And yeah, I think she's awesome, and she had the idea to ask pen makers for offcuts of their pens, of their resins, and then she is sanding them down and finishing them off with resin to make these swings, is what she calls them. And this one is extremely lovely because, let me tell you why. This is not a good idea. You should not fill a pen, then empty it out back into the bottle and then do it again. Just because, especially with these, you should do this in an ink miser. Don't be like me. I love this one specifically because it's see-through and I can see what I'm doing. And it's a little bit broader. She sent me 2. She also sent me this one. And this one is lovely as well, but it's a little bit smaller, so it could be better for even if I do even smaller drops. So this is, yeah, I like this too. This pen has really dry upstrokes. And I think, because look at how wet the other strokes are. So this is Diamine, Raspberry, Rose. I think, I am pretty sure that I'm going to buy this from Wendy Sue, that I will have this looked at the San Francisco Pen Show in Blue Stripe, because I really enjoy the rest of the pen. The nib is super bouncy, super lovely. I enjoy everything about this pen except for the dry upstrokes. And so I think it's worth spending the money to have it tuned, even though it's not mine yet. I'm also thinking of making a video about 10 inks that you need to try in 2025. How about that? Would you want to see that? Let's fill the Lamy 2000. I recently acquired a medium nib for that pen. And I think this is the way to go for me with this nib size. I enjoyed the other nib sizes okay, but I think I'm really loving the medium nib. And because the ink that I had put in there during, I don't even know what ink was in there. I just didn't like it much. Did I even use one in there? I don't know. I like this ink. It's so lovely. And it looks like Nevada for sure. This is what it looks like most of the time outside. Well, I shouldn't have. Let me check. Did I put an ink into this Lamy 2000? Lamy Broad? Nope. Lamy. Luck by Pilot. Lamy All-Star. Yeah, I put Emotional Olive in here with the medium nib, and that just didn't work. It was too light. Now let's see. This is also not a dark ink. Let's see if we can get this somewhere. Where's my paper towel? All right. So people say, oh, well, the German pens, the Italian pens, this looks like it has some dirt inside. That's what I mean when I say that it's so hard to clean piston filling pens. Oh well. This is Sailor, 50 states, Nevada, and this is the Lamy 2000 in black Macrolon with a medium nib. This medium nib is very bouncy. This medium nib is very stiff. But they're still both German pens. Oh man, I'm so annoyed. It's okay. I can live with this. I promise I will be able to live with this. Oh man, what the heck. So the sailor is next, and then I'm gonna do some stuff here, experimental stuff here. I have not inked Shujaku in a pen. It's really new. And I think this is probably the ink that I would want Shioro and Tsukio and all the blue inks from Pilot Uroshizuku inks to be. I don't know why I bought the other ones first. Let's see how I like it in a pen. This is perfect. I think I was looking for an ink color like this forever. And there's so many inks that are very close, but are just not it. And they're still nice, but they're not this color. And I'm glad that the swatches on the swatch cards look so similar, but they're so different on this paper. Let's see how it dries. Wow. Much better. Dip the section in a lot. Wow. Messy. I don't know how you guys do this, that your fountain pen nibs are clean, but I can't do. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, how I should be doing it. There's always ink on there. So this one is going to be a very different experience to all of those. They're all medium or broad nibs. This is a fine sailor nib. Sailor nibs tend to be very fine. They're Japanese. I like my Sailor Pro Gears posted, so. But I really like how this looks. I am debating doing a little switcheroo with my Sailor nibs. Sailor Pilot Shujaku. So what I'm thinking is maybe I'm Sailor Pro Gear, and this is Yoseka. Writing is hard. Yoseka Origin with a fine nib. I have a black Sailor Pro Gear that I purchased from Amazon with a medium nib. That I moved that nib into the Sailor Pro Gear Too Hot Habanero. It had a music nib, and I'm thinking of maybe switching the medium nib into here. And then possibly, not sure. I like the Too Hot Habanero, but the orange is just not the right orange. So I'm thinking of maybe letting that one go again. But to be honest, I really don't know. I need a, let's see, what happens if I put this in here? Does it fit? Yep. Okay. So I also brought out some silicone grease, so I can put some silicone grease around the threads here. Okay. Oh, I don't know what is wrong with this. Where? Maybe I'm getting old. Okay, let me put on the gloves now. yeah. I'm usually the person who can open bottles, any type of bottle, but not now. Oh, no, I don't like this. Let me grab this one. This looks clean enough. So all of the shimmer is separated out and back at the bottom of the bottle. So I'm going to take ink from here and put it in here. And then I'm just going to drop a tiny drop right here. Is this enough? Can't see. Yeah, I think, is it enough? If this is lovely and it works well, I might just leave this inked for a long time, so I'm okay with filling it quite a bit. So let's put the ink bottle aside. Let's use this and spread out the ink. No, I don't know. I'm curious. Okay, so silicone grease. I'm gonna put some on my little finger right here, and I'm taking it from the lid here. Ugh, that was awesome. Then I'm just going to put it around the threads right here, and then I'm screwing back in the pen. Okay, and then I'm just doing that, and now let's see if we can get some of it out already. What if it's not going to work? Then I'm gonna be screwed. I'm gonna be Scrooge. There's ink coming out for sure. Where did it come from? We don't know. Let's turn this paper around and just try. There's also ink over here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this is look at how much ink there is on this paper. So this is Wearingool. Yoon John Yu. And this is the Pilot Parallel. And this is the 2.4. I think I want one more of the 2.4 millimeters too in the one Kai Mini. I'm super excited. So now the last thing that I want to do, let me get some water to clean this up. This is lovely. I like this. I like this. Is swapping out the nib on this pen. And for that, oh no, just gonna leave this right here. For that, I'm going to move over my paper towel, or, well, actually, it's not a paper towel. My rag, my little rag. So I can work on top of that. And I'm not going to swatch it because I already showed you what it looks like. So I think gloves are in order. I have been told by Esterbrook when I inquired about my Scarlet, when I wasn't able to, no, it was the Rainforest that I already sold last year. when I inquired about unscrewing that nib, it did not come out, and they said wear these gloves. It helps you get a better grip on it, and I think they are completely right. So this is what I need. This is what I'm pulling out, and this comes out really easily. You saw me struggling, or it took some more force to put this section here, or this nib here, into the section of the Wankai Mini. Wow. Here, this was really hard to shove in. It didn't sound like I was going to break it, but it was definitely not as easy as this came out of here just yet. So now I'm just going to, there's nothing here. Nope. Just going to, wow. Why is this not? This is odd. Let's hope this works in here, because otherwise I'm going to be screwed. Yeah. Huh. See how easy this goes in and comes out? This is not what's supposed to happen. I did not expect this to happen. What else? Let's grab one. I think I have one more of those. And that is this one. This is the biggest one of them all, which I don't really like using because it's so hard to navigate. But I want to see how this fits into this section here. Oh, no. I was going to look for the O-ring, but this O-ring is here. Yeah. Okay. I guess this is staying here. That's so odd. So weird. Huh. Well, okay. Let's do this. And let me grab my other journal for this. Let's move all of this to the side and open this on a random page. So what if I'm using this? Does it fall out? Yeah. Can you see? It does fall out. So would it write even? Oh, this is not working. This is so annoying. Why is this not working? What do I need to do differently in order for this to work? I just pushed a little harder, you just saw. So let's see if we can. Oh, hi, cat. I don't want you here right now. Really? Don't. This is still wet. Thanks for moving the camera. No, no plastic. Go. Really? Dude, I don't... Also, the dog is sleeping. Can you please be quiet? Thank you. Yeah, I might be breaking... Now he's eating the plastic on the other side. This is open. Well, now it's open all the way. It's definitely sitting better in here right now. So I'm not afraid of losing this. But there's no ink flow. So I took drastic measures. I just dipped this into water right here. And now we are seeing something. How do I feel about this? Okay, now I'm just gonna remove this. Oh, look at this. It sits much firmer in there now. So I'm going to do the same thing for this. I'm just going to see, you know, if pushing it in a little further would make it stay. Dipping it into water, because why not? And then just seeing if ink would be coming, and if I'm shaking it, does it fall out? Nope, not so far. This is so huge. But I'm thinking maybe, you know, there's some things that you could do with these big, what are those? 6.0 nibs, like, you know, cut a slit in there, trim the corners and such. And this would be a fun way to experiment some with grinds. And the pens are super cheap. And even if it's not turning out as planned, maybe it's a different way it's turning out. I'm wondering if I should leave this nib on here. What would I use it for though? Like, even if I write a letter, hi, there. I mean, it works. You know what? Even though I really like this too, I think maybe I'll leave this on here. Okay, so what did I do? I swapped the nib. Now these need to be cleaned. Look at how shimmery they are, both of them. I'm just gonna throw them into my water right here. This one needs to be cleaned as well. This one is inked. So let me show you what I did, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so I am still thinking of letting go of this pen. I talked about this in another video. I have no problem keeping this just because I like the look of it. But I would much rather be able to use this with an ink. Even if it's just one specific ink that I always use in this pen, I'd love to find that ink that works in this pen. And maybe if I'm writing with this time around, maybe it's going to be either successful or I'm going to let it go. And I like the smell of coffee. So I inked this one with KWZ Smells Like Coffee. Then I inked the Sailor Pro Gear King of Pen in black with a broad nib with Lennon Toolbar Deep Mountain. Do you like my blue fingers even, by the way? And every time I'm not using this, I'm thinking maybe I should let it go. But then I ink it and write with it, and I'm wondering what the heck I was thinking about. This one I inked. This is the Pelikan M800 blue stripe with a medium nib. I inked with Diamine Raspberry Rose because I wanted to see how it performed with a different ink. And from these two lines, I can tell you I like it. Then I inked Cellar 50 States Nevada into this Lamy 2000 black with a medium nib. I seem to be inking this pen with a lot of light inks. Let's see how I like this ink in here. Then I put Pilot Iroshizuku Shujaku into my new Sailor Pro Gear with, in collaboration with Yoseka Origin. And I inked this has a fine nib, which might be a problem, might be not. That's why I want to try it. And the ink is absolutely fabulous. And then I put this Pilot Parallel 2.4 millimeter nib into the Wankai Mini housing and inked that pen. It's an eyedropper fill with Wearinggul Yundon Yu, and I'm really excited to be using this. And then I did a nib swap from the Radius, which is a rounded Pilot Parallel 4.5 millimeter, I believe, nib to this 6.0 millimeter nib. And this is what it looks like. There's not a lot of shimmer showing right now. I think it's coming soon. I'm curious to see how I'm using this. I know that I can swap it out for the 1.5 at any time if I need to, because I'd much rather use up this sample in this pen. So this will stay in here. Maybe the nibs will change. I'm not sure. I will update you as soon as I know more. This was so much fun to share with you all. I hope you have a great December. And I will see you again soon. Until then, bye.